Welcome back to another conference tournament prediction video. Today we are looking at the American Conference, and this conference has a team. Memphis is pretty much locked up for an at-large, but I don't think there's any way they get out of one. I mean, with the way they played in the non-conference, they have secured a bid, but will there be a bid stealer? I think there's a good chance there will in this conference. Let's take a look at the bracket. We got a 13-team bracket here. It's a deep league. There's a lot of very solid teams here. Real quick before we get into our predictions, make sure you subscribe if you are new. Check out our previous conference tournament prediction videos. We did the Big 12 already, Mountain West, A10. I'm trying to think. There's plenty. The ACC. I mean, check all of them out. The mid majors, all that fun stuff, and stay tuned because later this week and later today we're going to be posting even more conference tournament videos. With all that being said, though, let's go ahead and look at this first game, Rice versus Charlotte. Now, these two teams split in the season series. Charlotte actually won the most recent game, 78-75, but that was a while ago, about like a month ago. Charlotte is a guy, Nick Graves, averaging 18 points a game. I thought that was pretty noticeable. Rice is much higher than them, Torvik-wise, Kempom-wise. Just pretty much everywhere, they're much higher. But something's telling me Charlotte's going to win this game. I don't know. I just got a weird feeling, honestly. I mean, the 12 and 13 seeds, I don't really think they have much of a chance, if I'm being honest. Rice, they turn the ball over a lot, and Charlotte, a lot of their offense comes off of turnovers. They're a fast-paced team, so I kind of like that. I mean, besides that for Charlotte, these two teams both shoot a lot of free throws. Charlotte defends the three pretty well, so I don't know. I like Charlotte over Rice. I think there's a chance for this upset, and I could definitely see Rice winning this one, obviously. Wichita State versus South Florida. Wichita State actually has some pretty good non-conference wins over teams like St. Louis, Northern Iowa, Minnesota, Kansas State. They have some pretty solid non-conference wins. They also have a win over Memphis in conference. It feels like they play every good team close. I mean, against North Texas, they lost the first game by 4, the second game by 2. Recently, they have been struggling a little bit, but that's just because they've been playing a lot of the good teams in this conference. So I don't really blame them too much. Overall, record-wise, Wichita State has the much better record, 18 and 13 compared to South Florida at 13 and 18. South Florida's also lost 4 in a row in 7 of their last 8. I don't know. That doesn't sound great to me. I like Wichita State. I think metrics-wise supports that too. I mean, South Florida's really not that high. They're barely inside the top 200 in Torvik. Nothing really good going for them. They have almost a top 150 defense, but Wichita State is actually the 6th highest ranked team in Torvik. They have a better defense. They don't shoot the 3 very well, so that definitely worries me. But I think against South Florida they should be fine. FAU versus Charlotte, kind of what I said here. The 12 and 13 game, in my opinion, don't really matter too much here. I think FAU would beat either of these teams. FAU is a very strong team. They're the 4th highest ranked team in Torvik. They get a top 75 offense in the country. They score in the paint and defend the paint very well. They don't defend the 3 as well, but they're a fast-paced team. They shoot great shots, get a lot of good looks. And against Charlotte, I think they should be fine. They take care of the ball as well. That's another thing. Charlotte, a lot of their offense comes off of turnovers. Temple and Tulsa in the 7-10 game. Temple 9-9 in conference compared to Tulsa at 6-12, so they got a 3-game advantage there. Temple also closed out the season on a 3-game win streak with a win over North Texas and a win over Tulsa. North Texas, very good team. Against Tulsa this season, that might have been their only game against. No, they split the season series. Both games were very close, so I would expect this to be kind of the same deal here. But Temple, it's kind of the same thing with Wichita State. I feel like they just beat the good teams in this conference. They have a win over Memphis. They have a very recent win over North Texas. I don't know. That's something to look at for me. They have a top 100 offense as well. They get to the three-point line a lot. They're shooting 36% from 3 as a team, by the way. That's very promising, and they force a pretty good amount of turnovers. Tulsa is, I believe, bottom 2 in this conference in Torvik. I don't love that. I will take Temple off of that, but I will say Tulsa could win. They shoot threes a lot, so they have a good shooting night. They could definitely win, but I think Temple's the safer pick here. In the 6-11 game, East Carolina versus UTSA. At first glance, this wouldn't look much of an interesting matchup. UTSA is 12-18 on the year compared to East Carolina at 18-13. East Carolina finished 4 games ahead of them in conference standings, but UTSA actually ranks directly one spot directly ahead of East Carolina in Torvik, which I thought was very, very strange, very interesting also. UTSA has almost a top 150 offense in the country. They have a great turnover margin. They play at a fast pace, and they shoot the three very well. I don't know. That sounds like a very good recipe for success, in my opinion. Great turnover margin, shoot the three very well, fast pace, solid offense. I like their chances in this one. I think they upset East Carolina here. East Carolina is a solid team. They also force a good amount of turnovers, but like I said, UTSA is very good at taking care of the ball, and they just don't shoot as well from three that I would like them to, especially in a matchup against a team who is a very strong shooting team. I like UTSA's chances to pull this upset here, but into the quarterfinals, Memphis versus Wichita State. And I would, if Wichita State maybe didn't beat Clemson, not Clemson, if Wichita State didn't maybe beat Memphis already, I feel like I would feel better about picking them to win. That's kind of weird to say. I will go ahead and take Memphis. I don't think they lose to them twice. Wichita State also is one of the worst three-point shooting teams in all of Division I. That doesn't sound very great for a run, but like I said, they do play the good teams very well and very close, and they beat Memphis earlier this season, so they could do it again, but I don't know, that three-point shooting, I just can't get behind it. It is horrible. I think Memphis just has too much offensively and defensively. I just think they're the much better team. Tulane versus FAU. These are two pretty strong teams. FAU actually ranks quite a bit ahead of Tulane. They're about 40 spots ahead of Tulane in Torvik. They are top 75 offense. They play at a fast pace. They shoot pretty well from three. And they get a little bit of a warm-up game against Charlotte. In these 4 or 5 games, I feel like I always pick the 5 seed, but that's just because they kind of get their momentum going. Tulane's kind of just sitting around waiting. The problem here is Tulane does not defend the three very well. That's one of FAU's strengths is shooting. In the season series, I think they split. No, Tulane won the only matchup they played. I think FAU's second time around, though, I think they figure things out. I think they do end up winning and moving on to the semifinals. North Texas versus Temple. Now, this one is very interesting because Temple just beat North Texas. Which is weird. Temple also beat Memphis. That's strange. Temple, those are 2 really good wins. Before that, though, North Texas was on a 7-game win streak. Then they lost at Temple to close out the season. Do I see them losing to Temple a second time in a row? I just think this team's too good. They have a top 50 defense in the country, almost a top 100 offense, and they shoot the three very, very, very well. They're one of the slowest paced teams. Again, you kind of want to look for outliers in certain things, and North Texas, I feel like, fits that when you're picking like a Cinderella team. I know this isn't a Cinderella team as a 2 seed, but if they were to get into the tournament, is what I'm saying, and they're gonna have to win their conference tournament to get in. But against Temple, I think they should be fine. I don't see them losing a second time to them. UAB versus UTSA. The question here is, can UTSA continue their kind of crazy run? They really didn't do much for me to pick them. They closed out. It's not like they're hot right now or anything. I just like the matchup. UAB has lost 2 of their last 3. Now, granted, their last 3 games consisted of games against Memphis, FAU, and Tulane, all top 5 teams in this conference. But, you can take what you want from that. Lost 2 of their last 3. Now, UAB, very strong offensive team, top 30 in the country. They force a lot of turnovers. The only problem is they also turn the ball over a lot. So they play at a fast pace, but they can kind of get chaotic at times, and they really don't shoot a lot of threes. So for a team that's so good offensively, they don't shoot as many threes as I would like them to. They're like bottom 10, which is crazy. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, though. Against UTSA, matchup-wise, I mentioned this. UTSA also likes to play fast, and they shoot the three very, very well, which I think is very interesting. UTSA offensively is their strength, so I think this game could get up there in, scoring wise. Um, One thing I worry about here for UTSA and their little run they've got going on is the rebounding, because UTSA is a pretty bad defensive rebounding team, and UAB is one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. Although I will say, UTSA top 25 and not turning the ball over, taking care of the ball, and they force a lot of turnovers as well. Um, Against UAB, a lot of their speed and offense relies on getting turnovers. UTSA doesn't turn the ball over, and UAB does turn the ball over. I think UTSA gets it done just because of that turnover. I mean, UAB loves to turn it over because they play so fast. UTSA also plays fast, and a lot of that is reliant on forcing turnovers, which they do very well. I think UTSA gets a win over UAB and continues this kind of miraculous run here as the 11 seed to the semifinals. Back up to the top, though, Memphis versus FAU. In this one, I like FAU's offense. I do. I just think Memphis has too much, man. I mean, the two games they played this season, Memphis has blown them out both times. I could see FAU maybe winning this game, but I don't know. I mean, they don't defend the three very well. I mean, these two teams are going to want to play fast. They don't defend the three very well. They shoot it pretty well. And I don't know. I just worry that Memphis is going to make too many shots here. I mean, Memphis is shooting almost 39% as a team from three-point. That is ridiculous. They're really good offensively on the glass, and they have a top 50 defense, and they're going to be able to keep up with FAU, at least I think. So I just think defensively they're just clearly better. And then offensively, I could also argue they're better, but I'd say they're about even. And then the bottom, UTSA. Will they continue their run? Unfortunately, I do think this is where the run ends. I think North Texas is just going to control the pace of this game pretty clearly here. I mean, North Texas, one of the slowest teams in all of Division I pace-wise. They're actually bottom three. Crazy. Top 50 defense in the country. And, they take care of the ball. So the turnover thing for UTSA, not going to help them here. They shoot the three very well. I think they'll be able to control this game, take care of the ball, and just not let UTSA get too cute. Although UTSA did split the season series, so you never know. But I think North Texas has too much. I think they get passed to the championship game, which sets up a game, Memphis versus North Texas. Both these teams, the 1 and 2 seeds in this conference, and they've only played once in the regular season. Memphis won by 4 at home. I think North Texas, a second time around, I really like their chances. This is a fast-paced team versus a slow-paced team. Both these teams have top 50 defenses, and Memphis outside of the top 80 in offense. North Texas just outside the top 100 in offense. I think these two teams are very evenly matched. The thing I like here, though, Memphis, as well as they shoot the three percentage-wise, they don't really shoot a lot, and they like to go fast. Another thing, they don't force a lot of turnovers. North Texas doesn't turn the ball over, so I feel like with that being said, they can control the pace of this game. I think North Texas gets them a second time around. They came up just short the first time they played. I think the second time North Texas wins and becomes another bid stealer. I predicted St. Joseph's in the A10 earlier. Was that earlier today? Whatever. Recent video, I predicted St. Joseph's to be a bid stealer. I think North Texas will be a bid stealer because I think Memphis, with that non-conference, has already wrapped up a bid, clearly. But I think North Texas steals a bid. I mean, there's always bid stealers. I think this conference has a very good chance to produce one, and I like North Texas's chance here. So that is going to do it for the American Conference Tournament predictions. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you get on there, leave a like. If you made it this far, comment who you got in this tournament, and subscribe if you are new. We do college basketball, college football, NFL, NBA, and MLB, so loads of content, not only college basketball, but recently it has been because we're doing all 31 conference tournament predictions. Make sure you check all those out. Turn on the noties to make sure you don't miss whenever we upload. But with all that being said, that is going to do it. And thank you so much for watching.